What happens when the walls of a maximum security prison can't contain the violence of those within? Today, we dive into a chilling case that left even hardened correctional officers stunned. Welcome, listeners, to The Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB, and in this episode, we're exploring a shocking incident that unfolded behind the iron bars of a Southern California prison. A powerful Mafia member, already sentenced to death, met a brutal and unexpected end at the hands of his fellow inmates. This is a story of power, violence, and the harsh realities of life on death row. Brace yourselves as we unravel the events that led to this bloody climax in one of America's most secure facilities. It was just another day at Calipatria State Prison in Imperial County, California. The routine hum of prison life buzzed through the corridors and yards. But at 1:23 p.m., that routine was shattered. Prison staff witnessed a chilling scene unfold. One inmate, later identified as 25-year-old Tyler A. Lua, suddenly attacked another prisoner. The victim, Alberto Martinez, fell to the ground under the brutal assault. But this was just the beginning. As Martinez lay motionless, Lua stepped away. Then, in a horrifying turn of events, two more inmates joined the attack. Jorge D. Negrete Larios and Luis J. Beltran descended upon the helpless Martinez, continuing the vicious beating. The prison staff sprang into action. They deployed pepper spray and even resorted to a baton strike to stop the savage assault. Their swift response likely prevented an even more gruesome outcome. But for Martinez, it was already too late. Despite being rushed to the prison's triage area, he was pronounced dead less than an hour later. The cause? Injuries consistent with an inmate-manufactured weapon. In fact, two such weapons were found at the scene of this brutal crime. Now, let's turn our attention to the victim in this brutal prison attack, Alberto Martinez. At 46 years old, Martinez was no ordinary inmate. His story is one of power, influence, and a life steeped in organized crime. Martinez's journey to death row began in 2010 when he was convicted for his role in a chilling plot. Acting as the getaway driver, he participated in a failed attempt to kidnap and murder a businessman in Buena Park. But this wasn't just any random crime. The mastermind behind this sinister plan? The businessman's own sister. However, Martinez's notoriety extends far beyond this single act. He was a significant player in the Mexican Mafia, wielding considerable influence even from behind bars. While on death row, Martinez continued to orchestrate murders, showcasing the reach of his power and the depth of his criminal connections. But perhaps most intriguing is how Martinez managed to maintain these connections. Despite being in one of the most secure environments imaginable, he somehow acquired an illegal cell phone. This device became his lifeline to the outside world, allowing him to not only continue his criminal activities but also to forge a romantic relationship with a woman in Mexico. Martinez's story serves as a stark reminder of the complex web of power and influence that can exist even within the confines of a maximum security prison. His life and death raised troubling questions about the effectiveness of our justice system in containing and reforming even the most hardened criminals. But who were these three inmates responsible for such a brutal attack? Let's dive into their backgrounds and try to understand what might have driven them to such violence. First, we have Tyler A. Lua, the 25-year-old who initiated the assault. Lua was serving a 19-year sentence for attempted second-degree murder with a firearm enhancement. While in prison, he racked up additional time for possessing controlled substances. This suggests a pattern of violent behavior and disregard for rules, even behind bars. Next is Jorge D. Negrete Larios, 33 years old, serving over 32 years for attempted second-degree murder. His sentence included enhancements for inflicting great bodily injury, discharging a firearm, and gang-related activity. These details paint a picture of a man deeply entrenched in violent gang culture. Finally, there's Luis J. Beltran, the youngest at 31. Beltran was facing the harshest sentence of the three, life without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder. He also had firearm enhancements and a previous felony conviction. What drove these men to attack Martinez? Was it a premeditated act of gang violence? A power struggle within the prison hierarchy? Or perhaps a personal vendetta? The presence of inmate-manufactured weapons at the scene suggests this wasn't a spontaneous act of rage, but a planned assault. As we peel back the layers of this case, it becomes clear that the prison system houses a complex web of allegiances, rivalries, and unfinished business from the outside world. The violent histories of these attackers merged in a perfect storm of brutality, leaving us to wonder, in a place designed to rehabilitate, how can such savage acts still occur? In the wake of this brutal attack, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation swiftly implemented measures to contain the situation and begin their investigation. The three suspects Lua, Negrete Larios, and Beltran were immediately moved to restricted housing, isolating them from the general prison population. This not only serves as a punishment but also prevents any potential retaliation or further violence. The prison yard where the attack occurred was placed under limited movement, a standard procedure to maintain order and gather evidence. 2 inmate-manufactured weapons were recovered from the scene, crucial pieces of evidence that will likely play a significant role in the ongoing investigation. As for the broader consequences, this incident will undoubtedly lead to a thorough review of security protocols at Calipatria State Prison. Questions will be raised about how these inmates were able to obtain or create weapons, and how such a violent attack could occur in a high-security environment. The death of a high-profile inmate like Martinez will also likely prompt an examination of inmate classification and housing procedures, especially for those with known gang affiliations. This tragedy may serve as a catalyst for stricter measures and increased vigilance in California's prison system. This shocking incident at Calipatria State Prison raises serious questions about safety within our high-security correctional facilities. How could such a violent attack occur in a place designed to house the most dangerous offenders? It's a stark reminder that even in the most controlled environments, danger lurks. But there's more to consider here. This event also shines a spotlight on the complex state of California's death row. In 2019, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order placing a moratorium on the death penalty in California. This decision not only halted executions but also called for the closure of the state's execution chamber at San Quentin. So, we're left with a perplexing situation. Inmates like Alberto Martinez remain on death row, but with no prospect of execution. This limbo state creates its own set of challenges for prison management and inmate dynamics. Are these prisoners, knowing they won't face execution, more prone to violent behavior? Or does this moratorium offer an opportunity for reform? As we grapple with these questions, one thing is clear: the intersection of justice, safety, and human rights in our prison system is more complex than ever. And there you have it, folks. A chilling tale of prison violence that leaves us with more questions than answers. The brutal attack on Alberto Martinez, a powerful Mexican Mafia member, by 3 fellow inmates shakes our understanding of safety even in the most secure facilities. It forces us to confront the harsh realities of life behind bars and the complex dynamics at play in our correctional system. As we reflect on this incident, we can't help but wonder, is true justice being served in our prisons? How can we ensure the safety of inmates, even those on death row? And what does this say about the effectiveness of our current approach to incarceration and rehabilitation? These are tough questions without easy answers. But they're questions we need to keep asking and discussing as a society. What are your thoughts on this incident? How do you think we can improve safety and justice in our prison system? We'd love to hear your perspective. Keep the conversation going in the comments section. And if you want to stay up to date with more gripping true crime stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to The Real Crime Diary. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.